Hey everyone, and welcome to the deep dive. We're going to do something really exciting today.
Yeah.
We're going to help get you prepped for a demographer job interview.
Cool.
And luckily, we have a ton of RoleCatcher resources to make sure we can get you ready to go.
All right.
So, analyzing populations, births, deaths,
Right.
migration patterns.
Yeah.
Demographers have their fingers on the pulse of humanity.
It's a field that's constantly evolving,
Right.
which makes it so fascinating. And with the right preparation,
Yeah.
you can really stand out as a top candidate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So let's kick things off with some career context.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's Demographer Career Guide tells us this field is experiencing steady growth.
Uh-huh.
So job security is a big plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, plus demographers are needed everywhere.
Mhm.
Government agencies,
Right.
research institutions,
Yeah.
consulting firms,
Yeah.
you name it.
It's true.
Right.
Though,
Yeah.
a heads up.
Yeah.
You'll likely need at least a master's degree to be competitive in this field.
Oh, yeah.
But that investment
Yeah.
can lead to a really rewarding career.
For sure. For sure. All right. So let's dive into some interview questions.
Sounds good.
We're going to tackle some common ones straight from RoleCatcher's interview guides.
Great.
And for each question, I'll highlight the why behind it,
Okay.
what the interviewer is really trying to uncover.
Right.
Then you'll give our listeners some expert advice on how to nail that answer.
Okay.
Ready to roll?
Absolutely. Let's do this.
Okay, first up, a classic.
Right.
Describe your experience with data analysis and statistical modeling.
Okay.
Now, this one might seem straightforward,
Uh-huh.
but the interviewer is looking for more than just a list of software you've used.
Right.
Right.
They want to see that you have a solid analytical mindset, that you can extract meaning from data,
Okay,
and that you're comfortable working with complex data sets.
makes sense. So how should our listener approach this question?
Instead of just rattling off software names,
Yeah.
tell a story.
Okay.
Briefly describe a project
Mm-hmm.
where you use data analysis to solve a problem or uncover a trend.
Okay.
Mention the specific techniques you used, the
Yeah.
insights you gained.
Yeah.
Concrete examples are much more memorable.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's great advice. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide actually emphasizes the importance of skills like using mathematics to solve problems and complex problem solving.
Right.
So our listeners should make sure their answer reflects those abilities.
Absolutely. It's about showing you can apply your knowledge, not just that you have it.
Yeah. And, I bet a savvy interviewer might follow up with something like,
Okay.
can you walk me through your process for validating the accuracy of your data analysis? They're testing your attention to detail and rigor.
Right.
So how should our listeners prepare for that kind of curveball?
They need to show that they're thinking critically about the data, not
Yeah.
just crunching numbers.
Yeah.
Mentioning techniques like data cleaning, cross-validation, or sensitivity analysis demonstrates a good understanding of data quality
Right.
and a commitment to producing reliable results.
I like it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, feeling warmed up.
Yeah.
Let's move on to question number 2.
Okay.
How would you go about forecasting population growth in a specific region?
So this question assesses your understanding of population dynamics
Okay.
and your ability to apply forecasting methods.
Mm-hmm.
It's your chance to showcase those analytical muscles.
I like it. And RoleCatcher highlights forecasting human population trends as a key skill for demographers.
Yeah.
So let's break down how to approach this answer.
All right.
What are the key points our listeners should hit?
Start by outlining the factors that drive population growth,
Okay.
birth rates, mortality rates, and migration patterns.
Okay.
Then mention the data sources you would use.
Yeah.
Census data, vital statistics, maybe even surveys.
Okay. Yeah, and don't be shy about mentioning those advanced statistical techniques you're comfortable with.
Right.
Right. Time series, analysis, regression models.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things that will catch their attention.
Exactly. And to really stand out,
Yeah.
briefly explain a time you apply these methods in your previous work or research.
Okay.
The more specific and relevant the example, the better.
I like it. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw a follow-up question your way.
Okay.
Like, what are some potential limitations of your chosen forecasting method?
That's where critical thinking comes in.
Right.
No forecasting method is perfect.
Right.
Be honest about potential biases or uncertainties in your approach. Maybe your data only goes back so far, or certain external factors are hard to predict.
Right. That self-awareness shows you understand the complexities of population forecasting.
Right.
Right.
It signals you're not just plugging numbers into a formula, but really thinking about the assumptions, limitations involved.
Okay. One more before we move on. Question number 3.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with the latest demographic trends and research?
Okay.
This might seem like a softball,
Huh?
but it's actually super important.
It reveals your passion for the field.
Okay.
It shows that you're intellectually curious and committed to staying ahead of the curve.
So how should our listener craft their response? Should they just rattle off a list of journals they subscribe to?
While mentioning relevant publications is good,
Yeah.
it's more about showcasing active engagement with the field.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about attending conferences, participating in webinars,
Yeah.
engaging in online forums or discussion groups.
I like that. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide also suggests joining professional organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the Population Association of America
Yeah.
or the International Union for the Scientific Study of Population.
Mm-hmm.
That shows you're serious about professional development.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to personalize it. Mention a recent research paper or a demographic trend that really grabbed your attention.
Yeah.
Explain why it resonated with you. That genuine interest can make you more memorable.
For sure. Now I can already hear a potential follow-up brewing in my head.
Okay.
How about this? Can you give an example of a recent demographic trend that has implications for your work?
Mm-hmm.
They want to see if you can connect the dots between theory and practice.
This is a fantastic opportunity.
Okay.
Pick a trend relevant to the specific role or industry you're interviewing for. Briefly explain how it might impact your approach to data analysis forecasting
Okay.
or research design.
It's about showing you can apply that knowledge to solve real-world problems.
Right.
And speaking of real world, before we jump into more questions,
Okay.
let's touch on something really cool that RoleCatcher offers.
You mean their AI-powered tools?
Exactly. Remember all this great advice we've been giving on these interview questions?
Yeah.
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can actually analyze job descriptions to help tailor your responses for each specific role.
It's like having a personalized interview coach.
Yeah.
Their AI identifies the key skills and experience the employer is looking for and then suggests how to highlight those in your answers.
And it doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
They even have an AI-powered resume builder
Right.
that ensures your resume is perfectly tailored for each application.
It's incredible how AI is transforming interview prep.
Yeah.
This kind of personalized feedback can really help refine your responses and boost your confidence.
Oh, sure. For sure. All right, let's get back to those interview questions.
Okay.
Ready for another challenging one?
Bring it on. The more challenging,
Yeah.
the better prepared our listener will be.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
What are the most significant demographic challenges facing our society today?
Okay.
And this one is more open-ended. It's your chance to show off that big picture thinking.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not about having all the answers,
Yeah.
but about demonstrating your awareness of the complex demographic trends impacting our society.
And RoleCatcher's Career Guide points out that demographers are increasingly focused on issues like migration, aging, health, environment, and social inequalities.
All crucial areas.
Right.
So when answering this question, think globally.
What?
Consider challenges like aging populations in developed countries, rapid population growth in developing nations,
Yeah.
or the impact of climate change on migration patterns.
Okay, so
Yeah.
don't be afraid to get nuanced.
Right.
For example, you could talk about how an aging population strains healthcare systems, but also creates opportunities for new industries and elder care.
Exactly. It's about seeing both the challenges and the opportunities within these demographic shifts.
Here's a potential follow-up question.
Okay.
How do you see your role as a demographer contributing to addressing these challenges?
This is where you connect your skills and passions to the bigger picture.
Okay.
Talk about how your research could inform policy decisions, help allocate resources effectively, or raise awareness of critical demographic issues.
It's about showing that you're not just interested in the numbers themselves, but in using them to make a real difference.
Exactly.
Okay, ready for question number 5?
Hit me with it.
All right, here it is. How do you ensure the accuracy and reliability of demographic data?
Okay.
This question is all about demonstrating your attention to detail and commitment to data quality.
It's the foundation of demography.
Yeah,
The insights we provide are only as good as the data we use.
exactly. And RoleCatcher emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and judgment and decision-making for demographers. So let's break down how to approach this question effectively.
Okay.
What are some things our listeners should consider when answering this question?
First, highlight your meticulous approach to data collection and cleaning.
Okay.
Mention techniques like double-checking entries, identifying and correcting errors,
Yeah.
and ensuring consistency across data sources.
Okay. You can also mention familiarity with data quality standards and best practices.
Yes.
Right. Do you understand things like data provenance and lineage?
Yeah,
These details show you're serious about data integrity.
absolutely. And don't forget about data validation and verification techniques.
Okay.
Talk about statistical methods like outlier detection or cross-validation.
And this is where those software skills we talked about earlier come in handy again.
Right.
Mention your proficiency in tools like R or Python for data cleaning and validation.
Right. Now, a sharp interviewer might dig deeper with a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Like, can you describe a time you had to deal with incomplete or inconsistent data? How did you approach the situation?
Okay.
They want to see how you handle real-world data challenges.
Great point. What's your advice for tackling that kind of question?
Be ready to share a specific example from your previous work or research
Okay.
where you faced data quality issues. Describe the problem, the steps you took to address it, and the outcome. It shows you can think on your feet and find creative solutions.
Okay, one last question for this section, and it's a crucial one.
Okay.
How do you communicate demographic research findings to non-technical audiences?
Okay.
This is all about showcasing those communication skills.
It's about translating complex data and analysis into clear, concise, and engaging language that anyone can understand.
Because not everyone speaks fluent demography.
Exactly.
Okay.
RoleCatcher highlights skills like writing, speaking, and communicating with a non-scientific audience as essential for demographers.
So how can our listener craft a compelling answer?
First, emphasize your ability to distill complex information into key takeaways.
Okay.
Can you identify the most important findings and present them in an easy-to-grasp way?
And don't be afraid to get visual.
Right.
Mention your experience with data visualization tools and techniques.
Yeah.
Charts, graphs, maps. These can all help tell a story with the data.
Storytelling is key. Can you weave your research findings into a narrative that's engaging and memorable?
Okay.
Think about using real-world examples, anecdotes, or even metaphors to make the information relatable.
And it's not just about simplifying the language.
Right.
It's about tailoring your message to your audience. Are you speaking to policymakers,
Yeah.
community leaders, the general public?
Right.
Adjust your tone and level of detail accordingly.
Here's a potential follow-up.
Okay.
Can you give an example of a time you had to present complex demographic data to a non-technical audience? How did you approach it?
Perfect opportunity to showcase your skills.
Exactly.
Describe a specific presentation or communication challenge, your approach,
Yeah.
and the feedback you received.
It's all about showing you can effectively bridge the gap between the world of data and the real world,
Right.
making demographic research accessible and impactful for everyone.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground already, but let's tackle a few more questions just to make sure you're extra prepared. Okay, ready for the next one?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, this one focuses on a key skill for any demographer.
Okay.
Can you describe your experience with demographic survey design and implementation?
Okay.
Now, this is obviously for those who have hands-on experience collecting demographic data.
This question is all about assessing your understanding of survey methodology.
Okay.
The interviewer wants to know if you can design and execute effective surveys, showcasing those practical skills.
And RoleCatcher highlights skills like conducting public surveys and interviewing focus groups as valuable for demographers.
Yeah.
So let's break down how to approach this question. What are the key points to hit?
If you have experience with survey design, start by highlighting your understanding of different survey types.
Okay.
Such as cross-sectional or longitudinal designs.
Okay.
Then walk them through your process for developing survey questions.
Yeah.
Making sure they are clear and avoid bias.
Okay.
Don't forget to mention your experience with sampling techniques. Do you understand concepts like random sampling, stratified sampling, or cluster sampling?
Right. It's important to show, how to select a representative sample for your target population.
Right. And then talk about the practical aspects of survey implementation.
Okay.
Have you administered surveys online by phone or face-to-face? Describe the tools and technologies you've used.
Okay.
And highlight any challenges you've overcome.
Of course, data analysis is key.
Right.
Mention how you've analyzed survey data in the past, perhaps using statistical software packages like SPSS or Stata.
A possible follow-up question could be,
Okay.
can you share an example of a survey you designed that yielded valuable insights? What were some key findings? They want to see the impact of your work.
This is a great chance to tell a compelling story.
Yeah.
Choose an example where your survey design led to meaningful discoveries or informed important decisions.
And even if you don't have extensive survey experience, you can still demonstrate your understanding of the key principles and your willingness to learn.
Okay.
Mention any relevant coursework or training and express your enthusiasm for developing these skills further.
Okay, ready to shift gears a little.
Sure.
Let's talk about a topic that's incredibly relevant to demographers.
Okay.
How do you handle working with confidential data and ensure the privacy of individuals in your research?
This is a crucial aspect of our work.
Yeah.
We deal with sensitive information, and maintaining confidentiality is paramount.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating your awareness of ethical considerations
Right.
and your commitment to responsible data handling.
When answering this question, highlight your understanding of data privacy regulations and ethical guidelines.
Okay.
Mention specific procedures you follow, like de-identifying data, using secure storage methods, and obtaining informed consent from participants.
You can also talk about your experience working with institutional review boards or IRBs and obtaining ethical approval for your research projects. This shows you understand the importance of external oversight.
A good follow-up question an interviewer might ask is, can you describe a situation where you had to balance the need for data access with protecting individual privacy? How did you approach that challenge?
Okay, so this is a chance to show your problem-solving skills and ethical decision-making.
Right.
Briefly describe a specific example. The steps you took to ensure privacy while still conducting your research and the outcome of your actions.
It's about demonstrating that you can navigate those complex situations thoughtfully and responsibly.
Okay, one final question to wrap things up.
Okay.
This one is about thinking ahead.
Right.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years within the field of demography?
This question assesses your career aspirations, your understanding of career paths within demography, and your overall commitment to the field.
They want to see that you've thought about your future and that your goals align with the opportunities available within the organization and the field as a whole.
When answering, be honest and enthusiastic.
Okay.
Talk about the areas of demography that particularly interest you.
Yeah.
Whether it's research forecasting, policy analysis, or perhaps even teaching.
Okay.
Mention specific skills you'd like to develop.
Yeah.
Or areas of expertise you'd like to cultivate.
And don't be afraid to express your ambitions.
Right.
Do you see yourself leading research projects, presenting at conferences, publishing your work? Let them know you're driven and eager to make a meaningful contribution to the field.
If you're aiming for a leadership role, highlight your teamwork and communication skills. If you're passionate about a specific area of research, mention any relevant projects or publications you've worked on.
And remember, it's okay if your 5-year plan isn't set in stone.
Right.
The important thing is to show that you're actively thinking about your career trajectory.
Yeah.
And that you're excited about the possibilities within demography.
Absolutely. This question is as much about your passion as it is about your plan.
Well, I think we've given our listener a fantastic head start on their demographer interview prep.
I agree.
We covered a wide range of questions, from technical skills to ethical considerations to career goals.
Yes, we did.
But before we wrap up,
I
want to emphasize one more time how valuable RoleCatcher's AI tools can be in this process.
I completely agree.
The AI-powered resume builder and the AI feedback on interview answers can be game changers.
Definitely.
They offer personalized guidance, helping you tailor your application and refine your responses to make the strongest possible impression.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So to our listener out there, getting ready to embark on this exciting career path,
good luck.
Remember to use all the resources at your disposal, including the incredible technology available through RoleCatcher. Take the time to prepare, practice those answers, and most importantly, let your passion for demography shine through.
Best of luck with your interviews. We're confident you'll do great around